Hello, everybody. It's Ma again. Um, I just thought I would make a small little topic about the journeys in life. Mm, I just thought I would start out with, when we talk about the journeys in life, we always wonder, when we start out in life as a little child, you always have these dreams or like your imagination, like who's gonna how your life is gonna turn out to be, what kind of career you're gonna go for, what kind of husband do you want, who do you think he would look like, do you think you'll end up happy, how many kids, family, home, whatever. Some people even dream about, they'll be swept off their feet by a prince, or a man riding a horse and picking you up and, and just like he's saving you and he's your permanent love for life. But when it comes to reality, it's not that way. Mm-mm. Like honestly, when I was a little girl, I I always dreamt or always wished that I could have a happy household, a happy one for my kids because I'm not saying my life was very, very unhappy as a child, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. When I was about, I think, 9.5, my parents did separate, eventually divorced, but I always remember being like 5 years old. And I don't ever remember my parents ever showing that affection or that love with each other. Like, like two people that are happy, it was like they were just putting up with each other because of me and my sister. Like they were trying to keep it together, but it just wasn't happening. I never realized that until I got older and I had children and I had that same look on my face because I wasn't happy. So I know that look. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, my parents weren't in love. They felt out of love. I'm not sure if they once were, maybe, or maybe my father, I think my mom might have been my father's first. So my father never got to experience many women, if you know what I mean. That's one thing I respect about my dad is that he wasn't the kind of person to be running around town, just because somebody has walking around with sexy legs or something like that, he was going to run after and go get it. Mm-mm. You had to have something unique and special about you for my father to really, have that intimacy, want to have the intimacy with you, want to show that love with you. So, and I think he's only been with two women. So I respect him in that area. Um, but I always dreamt to have that happy, family life for eventually, when I have kids, I would marry my prince. Didn't land up that way. Maybe like the second time it did, but then he got deceased. I landed up a widow, and here I am again, all by myself. Sometimes that's just not how it is. Um, we just want to be happy. We just want to be happy. We want to do what is right in our life. I wanted to finish school and become a historian archaeologist, but that never happened for me. I did go back to school for psychology and mental health and wellness for my bachelor's and my master's, but I never went any further than that because it just cost too much. Too much. Oh, but most people that I know in reality, growing up as kids, our life turned out so different from what we wished it to be or what we imagined it would be, but it didn't turn out that way. So when we think about like how we want our life to be through the journeys that we experience, sometimes we learn from experience, sometimes the bad and the good. We learn to be more cautious from the bad experiences, trying not to do the same mistake again, trying to make better choices so we can, better that journey in our life to eventually that perfect happy life, which sometimes eventually we will have it and sometimes we don't. All we can do is live our life to the fullest, the best we can. None of that is ever easy because everything is money, everything is finances, everything is if you seeing somebody from another country, immigration, you got to deal with that. That's crazy. But I've dealt with immigration most of my life growing up. I do remember because my mom is and my mom's from the UK. My mom was born in Wales, and my dad was, your typical US Mexican American father. He was trying to get my mom to be able to come to the USA as a resident, but we had to wait for my half sister, my sister Amanda, because she was born in England too, and we were gonna bring her with us, and which we did, underneath my father as his stepchild, and me and my sister Veronica had to stay behind because we had to wait for our mother and my sister to be accepted to come into the US legally. Um, so it took us like maybe a few months. And then eventually my dad had everything, everything was set for, um, it wasn't really set for housing yet for the military base. Um, but we had to be put up into headquarters. It's it would look like a hotel room for a little bit until like a family housing was available for us. So that's what happened. But we always had to stay behind until like immigration went through, and like every time through the like the airports, my father and my little sister, we would go through the American line. My mom and my other sister, I don't want to say names. I shouldn't be saying names. And my other sister had to go through foreign line. But we would always wait at the end for my mom and my sister to make sure everything, they got through the line perfectly all right. Because you don't know what immigration's going to do. They could tell them, hey, you could go back home to UK, you know? You don't know what they're going to do if they have to write this and that, or, they're lacking in something, or they just pull them aside. Hey, no, you don't belong. You don't know what's going to happen. But we always had to deal with like certain things like that. Um, and I remember when we went back to England with my mom to go see my grandmother, and well, I guess my mom's significant other at the time went with her to England with me, my sister, and the cop stopped them for going too slow. They didn't know where they were going, but to find out um, by law, they had a little bit too much alcohol in their system, which they shouldn't have had. And he was the one driving. They basically told him, "You have a choice. Um, you're going to be detentioned, or you can just go back to the U.S. right now." He had to go back to the U.S. He had no choice. But they couldn't do anything with me or my sister if we got into trouble because we were still minors at the time. In England, I think it's like 16 years old when you're considered an adult. 16. Because they're already out of school, they're already getting jobs. You, you got to grow up fast. At 16 here in the US, we're still considered um minors, and we're still in school. They're already out of school unless they do continuation school for like college and stuff. So weird how things are different in each country. So, and then I had to deal with immigration um with my second husband a lot. Immigration lawyer, detention centers. Oh, it was bad. It was a lot of money. But I was trying to keep us as a family together, you know. But he just, recently passed away in 2022. So, but did go through a lot of stuff. So I know a lot of stuff about immigration. It ain't nice. It ain't nice to deal with. But if you have which I do too, somebody from another country that you're talking to or you're seeing, if you know this person is for you and the other person knows this feels the same way, do the right thing. You guys might have to fight, go through a lot of immigration stuff, and yes, it does cost money. But if you love this person and you know he or she is for you, and the other person knows the same thing, and you know it's for love, you know it's for love, you should basically take a chance. That's the only way you're gonna make something work, that you'll have a happy life, and so will they. Especially if you know this is the person for you, and it's here in your heart. You feel it. It's something that you feel. You don't even have to have all the other stuff. It's something you feel inside, and you know it's right. But just know it's going to cost a lot of money. Definitely, and it depending where they're, what country they're coming from, it might be more. So it's like two people working together to make things happen. You know, so nothing is ever easy when you're going on a journey in your life. You don't know where it's really going to take you. I mean, at the beginning, you're hoping for this or that, but sometimes it might turn around into something different, or turn around to something different that's negative, but then eventually go into something that is happy, lasting happiness. It depends on how you use your experiences in life, the journeys that you went on in your life, the negative, and you learned from them, and you learn not to repeat it again, you'd be okay. But you just gotta know, some people just continue making mistakes. I mean, we all make mistakes. We're none of us are perfect, but we it's like we're not learning from our experiences. We just keep on doing it, keep on doing it, and we just keep on being unhappy. Sometimes we need to really sit down, think, meditate on it, and think about, what do I really want in my life? Is this making me happy? Is this the person I want in my life for forever? Is this a partner that I want to spend my life with? Is this the person I want to have children with? Some of us might already have children or previous marriages, or even if it wasn't a marriage, or previous significant others. But sometimes we try not to get ourselves and continue to keep on getting ourselves in more messes. We try to just learn from experiences and then try not to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. We want to try to say, it's a stop. Now let me think about my life and turn my life around and go on a positive journey, so that I know that I'm eventually going to get a happiness. You know, it's not easy. Nothing is ever easy. Everything can be a challenge, very much so, especially when we're looking for somebody that we want as a mate, want to spend our life with. We want to be cautious, especially if we've been married once or twice. If we try to get married a third time, let's just try to really sit down and really think. Really, really, really think. Is this person for me? Is this the person that was going to make me happy for life? Does this person love me the way that I want to be loved? Can I love this person back the same way? You know what I'm saying? Will this person make me happy? And like even older people, I'm 48 years old. I'm not old, but I'm not young like I used to be either. I'm like one of those women that's stuck right in the middle. I'm like middle-aged woman. And I wish I was young again. I wish I could be like in my 20s. That would have been then I could relive my life. I just wouldn't I wouldn't replace my children now. That's the only thing I don't want to replace. But I would definitely redo a lot of stuff. But huh, life is never easy. Not in this system of things. It can be tough. It can be stressful. And especially if we're trying to find Mrs. Right, Mr. Right, that's hard too because if you're looking for a loving person with a good heart that's not selfish, that doesn't just think about themselves, but they think about others too. They do for others, they care for others. They just don't think about just themselves, selfishly into themselves. People that are willing to give than receive, to give and don't expect much in return, but just to be loved back. Something so simple. To find that, it's difficult. It's hard. Something, especially if you have children. Is this person willing to accept that there's a package with me? It's not just me. They have to accept my kids. They have to accept to have kids too. What if two people have kids? Can they all accept each other? It's it's tough. It's tough. But when we think about the journeys in our life, um, we just try to be smarter and wiser through every experience that we ever experienced, the good and the bad. And we learn from them, and hopefully, we learn from them. And we learn to be wiser, stronger, more intelligent each time. Enough not to make the same mistake over and over and over and over again. We want to be wiser. We want to be smarter and more intelligent and use those life experiences to make better choices in our life. So I just thought I would use this topic because it just came to my mind, like all the journeys that I have experienced through my life and how much I learned from them and how much I basically learned to be more cautious, learned to be more wiser in making decisions, and not to keep on making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. I don't want to keep on making them. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. Who doesn't? And this is the point why I made the topic of this video, life's journey. Um, I hope you guys got something out of this video. Maybe a little something. I hope. And, well, it was nice basically getting to see you guys again. And subscribe. Hit me a like. A little. Something. And maybe I'll make another video here very, very, very soon. And adios. Adios, everybody. Bye.